Flashbacks, nightmares, being stuck in the past, does this feel familiar? What if I told you that it was your brain trying to protect you? Let me share with you a really powerful metaphor that can help us understand, that can see why and how our brain stores traumatic memories. My name's Diane, I am a qualified counsellor, and I'd like you to imagine that all your memories are stored in this beautiful old filing cabinet. All your memories are all in order, they're all under A to Z, and they're all filed in this lovely old filing cabinet. So every day, every experience you have, what you had for breakfast, a friend that you spoke to, morning at work, going to the school run with the children, all these memories and these moments get filed away in the filing cabinet, all in the right order. But a traumatic event is different. Often trauma can come out of the blue, or all of a sudden, or instantly, and it doesn't get filed away in that cabinet. It can be overwhelming, and it's just too much for our brain to process it. So instead of being calmly filed away, it goes into a different place, into a fire alarm, and it's held there, and it can get stuck there. And while those memories are in that fire alarm can keep ringing. It can give us flashbacks, it can give us playbacks. It can keep reminding us what's there in that fire alarm. We can get stuck with those intrusive memories or replays of the event. The brain hasn't filed it away under the past. You might be thinking, well, why does the fire alarm keep going off? I don't want it to keep going off. How do I switch it off? But the brain is trying to protect you. The brain thinks, the mind thinks, if I keep it right here and keep reminding you of it, it's going to keep you safe because you're not going to get into that situation again. It's not allowing you to forget so you won't be caught off guard. But of course, this protection comes at a cost, and that is that it keeps us reliving that traumatic event instead of being able to just move forward. A change can come. It is possible to get change. We just need to move those memories of that event into the filing cabinet, out of the fire alarm and into the filing cabinet. But to do this, we need to gently process that memory. Not just retell our story, but actually look at what it felt like. Look what emotions were there at that time. And that can be really, really tough to do, because when we've had something unpleasant happen, which can be an array of different things, we don't always want to go back there. We often fight our hardest to push and stuff that down. We don't want to go back there. We don't want to look at something that was sad, scary, frightening, horrible, unpleasant. We want to just hide away from it. But actually, by facing that, telling the story and looking at, actually, how did that feel? What emotions came up for me? What did I feel like? That can be a help to gently start processing it and gently start looking at it. And we can do this in many ways. We can do this with counselling, we can do this with talking therapy, we can do this through role play, through looking at Russian dolls, from stones, to journaling, to lots of different ways that we can do this. But it's about doing it gently. It's about seeing what we can cope with, looking at in that moment, bite-sized pieces, and not rushing the process. The aim is to remove the protective blocks that are keeping the memory stuck in the alarm system. Once the feelings and the emotions with that event, that story, have been acknowledged, have been brought up and have been worked through, the brain can then finally file that away into the filing cabinet where it belongs. Now, it doesn't mean that we ever forget the traumatic event, but it can become something that's in our history and not something that we're forced to relive in our present moment. We can't change our experience, but we can change where it sits in our body, where it sits in our brain. So if you are struggling with any kind of trauma, any kind of traumatic event, no matter whether it was from your childhood, your teens, a couple of months ago, you're not broken. Know that your brain is doing its best. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. It's doing its best to try and protect you. But with the right support, with the right work in place, those memories can be processed. I hope that metaphor has helped you to understand, because I know from my own personal experience that I experienced a traumatic event that had stayed with me for many, many, many years. And I didn't really know how to process that. But I have successfully processed that, and that event still happened in my life, but it sits somewhere different now. So if you found this helpful, I'd really love you to share it with somebody in your world that you think this might help, because sometimes people are struggling out there and they've stuffed stuff down, they've stuffed their memories down, they don't bring them out, and because they want to cope with life, they want to smile and just get on with their life, so they stuff things down, but it's still in there. So share this video so that they can understand what's going on and get the help that they need if they feel the time is right for them. And as always, take gentle care of yourself. Reach for support if you feel it's the right time for you. There is support out there. You're not alone. I have done a previous video on if it's counselling support you needed, how you can go about finding that. I might put the link in the description in case that's something that you want to look at. And I really wish you a wonderful day, week and month, and hope to see you in the next video.